Do you ever feel like manifestation is just another thing on your to-do list that you don't have time for? Like your spiritual practice is something that you have to do? Honestly, you're not alone because I felt that way too. Something that's really changed my relationship with manifestation is blending it into my lifestyle so that no matter what I'm doing, I'm also manifesting. I call this manifestation as a lifestyle, and it's single handedly made the entire manifestation journey more enjoyable for me. And I've seen my desires show up with a lot more ease. Manifesting as a lifestyle has made manifestation go from feeling like a task to something I just naturally do because it's who I am. If you'd like to learn more about this, I've created a step by step guide for you. I'll link it in my show notes so you can check it out. You're listening to the Affirmation Addict podcast with Pyle Corley. This podcast will teach you about the power of affirmations while making manifestation easy and accessible for you in order to enhance your spiritual consciousness. Thank you so much for being here, and now it's time to get started. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Affirmation Addict podcast. My name is Pyle, and today we're chatting about how I broke past my upper limit. This is going to be kind of a quick episode because it is definitely a little bit redundant, but I want to just share with you the thing that helped me finally break past an upper limit. And if you don't know what an upper limit is, it's essentially like you're kind of at a good position, you're at a good space, and you're doing your thing, everything is good, but like you're getting really comfortable when things are good and you're scared to keep growing. Like you went through the discomfort, you went through all the hard stuff, and now things are good. Like things are kind of where you want them to be. But then there's like maybe that one thing, but you're like, I don't need it. Like I have honestly a lot. And that one thing feels kind of like a nice to have, not a necessity. And so you're almost talking yourself out of actually wanting it, talking yourself out of actually getting it. And that's where it's like, is it worth it? And that's what an upper limit is. And so for me, I had an upper limit in my business where I was like, I can't double my profit. I can't double my revenue. I can't double my growth. I just kept feeling like I couldn't grow fast enough, whether it was monetarily or in engagement or reach or whatever. So for me, it was a very specific business goal where I was like, I want to just like outdo myself, but I can't. Like, I can't get myself to outdo myself. And I was very tired of that. And so I noticed what I basically told myself. I broke past it. Long story short, I broke past it. I did double. I like exceeded the doubling. I almost like tripled. But when I did this whole tripling thing, the biggest thing that shifted was I took action no matter how I felt. And I know this is the worst thing to hear. Trust me saying it makes me cringe because I hate doing it myself. Like it makes us uncomfortable. It is not fun, but I took action. I did the work. I did my spiritual practice anyway. I moved forward anyway. And honestly, breaking past your upper limits on wherever you are, we all have an upper limit that we're trying to break past. Breaking past that helped me move forward, and breaking past that helped me realize that I actually can just keep moving forward. And I don't know if my effort's going to be worth it. And that's what I realized the resistance came from. The resistance came from like, is the work I'm putting in actually going to be worth it? Is the time I'm putting in actually going to be worth it? Or should I just not do it? Should I just relax? Should I just let myself be and be happy where I'm at and be present? When those thoughts crossed my mind and I started getting lazy, I started getting bored, I started getting procrastinating, I started getting very, very grateful and kind of trying to talk myself out of it. That's when I realized that I was ready to break past my upper limit, but I was honestly talking myself out of it. And so, what I really recommend doing is take baby steps. This is where manifestation as a lifestyle comes in. This is where taking messy action comes in. And why do the baby steps matter? It's because the baby steps create the big steps, and then the big steps create the momentum. So, literally realizing that one small shift, one decision to set your alarm 5 minutes earlier is the start. That is the start. And then sooner than later, you'll wake up at 5 a.m. And then you'll have the momentum to like wake up and work out early and eat breakfast before 8 a.m. Like it's such, all of it is in the micro moments. You hear me say this every time. The magic is in the micro moments. And when it came to me breaking past some of the limiting beliefs I've been working through for years, some of the goals I haven't been able to hit for years, all it came down to doing was taking action when I didn't want to, doing the things I said I was going to do. Because it's like, theoretically, we know what action we should take. Do we do it? Most of the time, no. Why? We don't have time. We distract ourselves. There's so many other reasons, but it's like, if you can let yourself take the action, even if it's not perfect, you're not judging yourself for it, you're allowing yourself to move forward, that's actually going to make the biggest difference. So some examples of like doing the work for different things that you're manifesting. Maybe you're manifesting a better relationship. Maybe you're in a relationship right now and your needs aren't being that met, but you're in a pretty good space. So it's like, do you stay in this relationship? Do you leave? What do you do? And so I'm not suggesting that you should always leave. I'm not implying that. What I am implying though is allow yourself to work on it being better, because we're like, well, is me working on it being better not grateful enough? So what can you do? You can write affirmations where you can focus on qualities you love about this relationship rather than letting the other things that you don't love trigger you. You can focus on allowing yourself to grow. You can focus on allowing yourself to be happy while you're with that person, and allow yourself to think about, well, what would the better version of this relationship look like? And keep putting in those micro moments of work. In your business, we have a to-do list, or in your work, even if you don't own your own business of supplies, you have a to-do list, you have ideas, you have projects. How many times do we do the bare minimum just to get by? And how many times do we exceed expectations for ourselves, not to get recognition, but for our own fulfillment? So can you go 1 inch more than you usually do and letting yourself go forward? And maybe it's with your health. Maybe you don't start by shifting your diet and eating only homemade food and working out every day and having all these vitamins, right? Maybe it's just you take 1 vitamin a day and nothing else changes. The reason these micro moments are so hard to actually implement is because we don't think they're big enough to make the big changes we want, so we don't think it's worth it. But that's the story we're telling ourselves. That's a judgment we're putting on ourselves. That's absolutely false. So it's about allowing yourself to say, hey, I really don't want to get I don't want to get uncomfortable, and allowing yourself to say, but I'm going to do it anyways. I have no desire. I'm scared. I don't like how this feels. And letting yourself say, I'm going to do the small things, even though I don't think it's going to make a difference. I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to just do 1 more. Let me just go to the gym 1 more day. Maybe it won't have any results, whatever, 1 more day. And just that 1 more, that little inch more, whether it's a day, another minute, another hour, another moment, another to-do list item. Those micro moments make the biggest difference. So stop judging your micro moments. Stop judging how effective it's going to be. Stop doing it only for the sake of getting a result, and allow yourself to take the action anyway, and allow yourself to say, I'm okay taking action I don't want to take. Taking action you don't want to take and doing things you don't want to do isn't a sign of weakness. It isn't a sign of you hate your life or you're not in a good enough place. Taking an action that you don't want to take, knowing that it'll probably help you, is a sign of, I am being there for myself and I'm committing to my future self. I'm committing to my higher self. So that is the one thing that helped me finally break past my upper limit. I know this is a super short episode. It's literally only 7 minutes, but it's taking that messy action, letting yourself build momentum and letting yourself move forward anyways. So I hope this helped. I hope this inspires you to go do something you've been avoiding and see how it shifts. Don't do it with any expectation. Just do it for the sake of doing it. Okay? I love you, and I will see you next week. Bye. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for listening, and I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If this episode resonated with you, it would mean the world to me if you could rate and review the podcast and share it on your social media, so I know to keep creating episodes that are inspiring you to manifest. I'm so genuinely grateful for the time we shared today, and I'd love for you to join the community by following @AffirmationAddict on Instagram. To continue diving into spirituality and manifestation, head over to my website, affirmation-addict.com. Until next time, I'm sending you so much love and so much healing energy.